Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome to Road Trips That Turn Into Nightmares. This video is by Rob Gavigan, so if you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down to the description box, click on the link, and go watch the video, see the entire while me pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for showing great support. I just want to let you guys know I am going through a course right now in the Army, so it may not be every day, maybe every other day, because I have school on top of the course, and the course has homework, so I have double the homework and double essays, and plus I still have to go to the gym and make dinner and all that other stuff, so bear with me. It's over like in April, so just expect to see some videos here and there. If not, I'll let you guys know. But for now, let's get it.
Road trips can be some of the most exciting activities for one to engage in.
All day.
Many sights to see, the places to explore. There's so much that is a part of the experience.
Absolutely.
However, sometimes these enjoyable times can take a turn for the worst.
Seriously Strange with Rob Gavigan featuring Reprisal Zems. If you guys haven't already, swoop down to that description box. Even better, go up top and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you get all Zems' recent drops. Deathly road trip. Let's get it.
Imagine your father decides to take the family on a surprise road trip to your favorite water park in the country.
What, Dad? Show me where it's at. I didn't have one.
Get in the car, take off, and begin your drive on what seems to be the perfect day, only to later realize your ideal trip has turned into a complete nightmare.
Uh-oh, the
This
dad was crazy.
regrettably the case of the Vaughn family. When Christopher Vaughn and his family were driving on Interstate 55 in northwestern Canada, he suddenly turned onto a secluded frontage road and announced that they were going on a surprise road trip to the Springfield Water Park. But after 5 a.m. on June 14th, 2007, Christopher pulled their SUV over. His wife, Kimberly, had no idea what was wrong. But then, quite suddenly, Christopher drew a handgun. Putting it up to her chin, he pulled the trigger. The gunshot immediately woke up his sleeping children.
Run.
Terrified, they cried for help, unable to comprehend the terrible event that had just transpired. Then, turning the gun on his children, Christopher once again began pulling the trigger. All three of his children were mercilessly shot to death. 12-year-old Abigail, 11-year-old Cassandra, and 10-year-old Blake.
Dang, bro, that's insane. What did he do? I hope they explain what he did. Like, yo, kids, bro, you have to be some kind of mad or some kind of crazy to kill your kids, man. Your own flesh and blood. I will never understand that. I can't get that mad and want to kill my family. Like, damn, bro. It was like, Vaughn, Vaughn, Vaughn. No. Oh, that's a bad joke. If you guys know TikTok, then you guys would understand that. But his name is Christopher Vaughn, but I get one dark joke per episode. That's all right, I'm sorry.
A state trooper eventually arrived on the scene and taped off the area all the way to a blood trail leading off the road. Authorities knew they needed to have a closer examination. Christopher Vaughn was later identified at a hospital where he had been treated for gunshot wounds. He stated when they pulled onto a frontage road while driving to the Springfield Water Park, his wife pulled a gun on him and their children before shooting herself in the head. However, not everyone was completely sold on Christopher's story. Yeah. Authorities began to see that there were inconsistencies with his narrative. For instance, Christopher's clothing that was retrieved from the hospital showed that he had sat in his wife's own blood. Soon after, forensic tests showed that Christopher was also standing still and not moving frantically while he was standing near the vehicle when he was shot. But even more compelling, although Kimberly Vaughn's body was discovered not wearing a seatbelt, her husband's blood was found on the strap within its housing. Christopher wasn't arrested until 9 days after he murdered his family, just before his wife and children's funeral services. As the trial continued, the jury became aware that Christopher was planning to live off the grid for months before his family's slayings. He even filled a storage locker with survival and camping equipment.
MREs.
6 weeks of testimony continued until the day came where jurors took less than an hour to find Christopher guilty of the horrendous crimes. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms in prison where he will spend the rest of his life.
Why would you even just... I don't know. I don't want to say it, man, but what is the use of taking up taxpayer dollars, bro, and putting people that's going to die in prison anyway, bro? I get it, the factor of them suffering but they still going to have life. They're still going to be able to read books. They're still going to be able to exercise, get 8 hours of sleep. You get what I'm saying? They still live in a... Just get rid of them. Why are you just going to let them sit in there? That's why prisons are overcrowded now, bro. Just get them out of there. It's like the teleological theory, man. We have to eliminate the people that are causing havoc, the people that are committing heinous crimes and stuff like that, bro. The people that are terrorizing the world, get rid of them. Why are you even keeping them there? And then you giving them hopes and stuff and plea bargains and letting them tell their end of the story when a victim can't tell their end of the story. Like, why are you proving? And it's like, bro, I think innocent until proven guilty can only go so far. If you look like a horse, it's a horse, bro. It's a horse. If you did it, bro, you did it. Like, there's no reason for you to serve 4 consecutive life sentences. Just give him the death penalty. I don't know. That's just me. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about it. Like, he killed 4 people, and you're gonna let him live out the rest of his life and show in a bed still, and you're still gonna feed him. Like, why are we paying for this dude to live? Like, it's stupid. Driving into oblivion.
On March 9th of 2000, Leah Roberts talks on the phone with her sister Kara about possible plans to hang out in the future. Later that day, sometime during the afternoon, Leah and her roommate Nicole Bennett agree to babysit together the preceding day. However, when Nicole returns from her job, she finds that Leah's 1993 white Jeep Cherokee is missing. As she investigates their room, she also finds that Leah herself is nowhere to be found. At first, Nicole doesn't give it a second thought, as Leah was known for leaving without prior notice ever since she dropped out of college.
Red flag.
Unfortunately, the next day, Leah never showed up to the babysitting appointment, nor did she return home. By the following day, Nicole began to worry and fear something might have happened to her friend. Other friends and family who expected to see her began calling, troubled that they had not heard from Leah in days. On March 13th, Kara Roberts reports her sister missing to authorities. The next day, Nicole and Kara search Leah's room and realize that a large amount of her clothing is missing. They also notice that Leah's cat, Bea, is also nowhere to be found.
So either she picked up and left because she was scared of somebody, or somebody came and forced her to leave, which is kind of weird. That's why you have to tell people where you're going, man. Even if you don't want your family knowing your business, at least tell a close friend. Tell someone where you're going, because you never know, man. I tell you guys all the time, let somebody know. I understand you want to be an adult, you want people in your business. Leave me alone, I'm grown up, I'm 15, I'm 16. Or however old you may be, man. Don't forget to tell people where you're going. I still tell people where I'm going, bruh. Even the people I work with, I tell certain people where I'm going, because just in case anything happens, they know where to at least start to look for me. You get what I'm saying? And then go from there. Check cameras in that area. But if you don't know nothing, and like he said, you're going to drive off into oblivion, no one's going to find you, bro, ever. You're going to go off the radar because no one knows where you're at, and no one knows where to start looking for you. You just pretty much just put your family through something that you shouldn't have put them through in the first place. And it's just a whole lot of stuff that goes into it.
While they continue to examine the room, Nicole and Kara find a note that Leah left. It read, "I'm not suicidal, I'm the opposite." In addition to the peculiar note, Leah also left a bundle of cash to help pay for rent in advance for the next month. Kara then decides to check her sister's financial records, since she has power of attorney over Leah's bank accounts. She then discovers that Leah withdrew several $1,000s on the afternoon of March 9th, consequently using her debit card to pay for a motel room near Memphis, Tennessee.
So she's getting ready to kill somebody.
Other transactions suggest that Leah was traveling along Interstate 40 before heading north on Interstate 5, reaching I-40's western end in California. Leah's final transaction was a gas purchase after midnight in Brook, Oregon, on March 13th. Kara has no idea why her sister is going to the Pacific Northwest. She therefore visits the coffee shops that Leah went to frequently. Investigating further, Kara soon meets with Janine Quiller, who explains that Leah and her both shared a keen interest in the works of American novelist Jack Kerouac. The two were incredibly fond of the novel entitled The Dharma Bums, the sequel to the better-known On the Road. Because Kerouac once worked at a fire lookout tower in the Cascade Mountains of Washington, and was inspired by the landscape, Leah herself developed a fascination for the same region. Kara feels relief, believing her sister is merely on a road trip. However, when she expects a phone call from Leah on her 26th birthday, she instead receives a note from the Durham County Sheriff's Department requesting her to call one of their counterparts in Bellingham, Washington. Later that day, Kara learns that Leah's Jeep was uncovered in a remote forest, but Leah herself was nowhere to be found. Leah's Jeep had been discovered by a couple who found articles of clothing in the woods, only to soon stumble upon her crashed vehicle at the bottom of an embankment near the U.S.-Canadian border.
U.S.-Canadian border? So where was she going? She read that book and got inspired, or was she drunk, or was she in a car with somebody and tried to crash it to kind of like escape, or I don't know. This is kind of weird because there is no hints, there's no motives, there's no anything. There's no crazy exes, there's no money that has to do with no drugs, there's like nothing to go off of, and her clothes are just staring inside the forest. This kind of reminds me of the Missing Persons series on Mr. Ballner's channel, because she just went missing in the woods. I find it kind of hard to like just think you picked up a book and just decided to go missing in the forest randomly. You get what I'm saying? To leave this month's rent, which kind of leads me to believe that you had a plan to go do something, which I don't know what it was, because you stopped at coffee shops, you went to the motel, you had some kind of plan or intention to do something. You're not suicidal, you're homicidal. So she wouldn't kill herself, which means she tried to kill somebody, and maybe it backfired. That kind of reminds me of that movie I just seen not too long ago. It's The Sound of the Block Island or something like that. You guys go check that out on Netflix. It's like The Sound of Block Island or Block Island Sound or something like that.
Kara and her brother Heath subsequently fly to Washington to assist investigators with the case. They eventually find two witnesses, both men who had talked to Leah in a restaurant about Kerouac and her plans.
Two men, huh?
Interestingly enough, one of the men claims to have seen her leave with a third man named Barry, and even gave a description to police. Even so, all of the other customers that day could not confirm the third man's presence. Security footage was later recovered from the gas station that she had stopped at. In it, Leah appears to be doing well, but keeps peering towards the parking lot while waiting for her transaction.
Somebody was following her.
Many believe this suggests a traveling companion, perhaps the elusive Barry. After 4 days, Kara and Heath return home, but authorities continue the investigation for weeks. Regrettably, however, the case eventually goes cold, but years later, newer detectives reopen the case and discover fingerprints under the Jeep's hood and the DNA of a male on an article of clothing. Although no match has turned up, authorities hope that one day it may be able to provide them and Leah's loved ones with answers that will solve her mystery.
Like, this is let you know, like, bro, there's some different breeds of detectives. Some detectives like, well, we found a car, that's it. The next one opened it back up and actually did a thorough investigation of the vehicle and uncovered fingerprints. If they would have done that back then, man, they probably would have found those dudes or fingerprint the dudes that said it was a third guy and nobody else seen the third guy. So either he was just really elusive or he was just somebody that you wouldn't pay attention to. The normal average guy that you probably just walk past and not think twice about it. I don't know. I think maybe those two guys know more than what they're leading on, and I think if they would have found those fingerprints a little bit earlier, they probably would have traced those back to somebody. But that's just my opinion. But I'm gonna end it right here, guys. If you enjoyed my content, make sure you like, comment, and on the subscribe button, be a part of Murder Crows today. Again, no one told you today, I love you. This video is by Rob Gavigan, so you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down to the description box, click on that link, and go watch the videos in entirety while me pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for understanding, man. Thank you guys for showing support, and thank you guys for the 1,830, man. 2,000 is right around the corner. Keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Thank you guys for believing in me. Thank you guys for being a part of the journey. If you are new to the channel, my name is Reprisal Zems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. But let me know down in the comment section what you guys think happened to this lady. I mean, we got a little bit about Barry, but I don't think Barry exists. I think one of them dudes were probably Barry, and he got away with it.